Hello everyone, we're continuing on from last time, where we were in the middle of a trial. Kind of give you an explanation of what's going to happen for the next couple of days, and so on and so forth. Got some new clues, which finally will be able to help us save Severin, thank God. And now, to give the evidence. The signed cult pamphlet thingy. A little while ago, while visiting the Louvre, I saw a man who looked very much like Romulus handing out pamphlets. As you can see, the pamphlet from the Louvre is identical to the pamphlet from the catacombs, except for one important detail. Romulus signed the Louvre pamphlet himself. No way! My brother wouldn't do something so foolish. Do you see? Right here on the cover page. That is Romulus's signature. I admire your tenacity, Falcon, but something is blatantly wrong with your evidence. We know that the brother of Friar Remus is named Romulus, but this Louvre pamphlet of yours is signed Silvius. Clearly an alias. Romulus is on the run from the police, so he must have changed his identity. That's a plausible theory, but it is unsubstantiated. How do we know this pamphlet was signed by Remus's brother? Because of pen! This fountain pen... Hey, where did you get that? Is it my brother's or mine? Wow, Remus, your mouth is almost as big as Romulus's. Anyway, I believe it's yours. Sparrowson happened to find this pen in your robes just a few days ago. You mean he stole it? Let's not argue over semantics. What's important, and what you just admitted, is that you and your brother both owned pens just like this one. See, these pens are unique in that they contain green ink, a very unusual choice of ink color. A very evil choice, too. Well, yes, but more importantly, it's the same ink that was used on the signed pamphlet. Since there are only two pens, there are only two possibilities. Either Friar Remus has been signing off on atheist cultist propaganda. I would never do such a thing. Or his brother has been using his identical pen to sign cultist propaganda, and the same type that was found in these catacombs. Impossible! My clumsy overbrother lost his pen a week ago. Oh? So then the only explanation is that you lent him your own. No, you see? It doesn't matter how you cut it, Friar. One way or the other, you and your brother are tied to this cultist pamphlet. Admit it. Confess. Falcon, enough. You've made your point. You're asserting that the Friar's pen ties him to the cultist pamphlet. I get it. This is all tenuous, wouldn't you say, madam? No question. Falcon has suggested a theory that hinges upon a theory that hinges upon yet another theory. It's not hard proof by any measure. He may very well be wrong, but at least he's logical. His theory is self-consistent. What are you saying, madam? Falcon, where did you say you found this leaflet? The unsigned one, that is. Oh, down the catacomb tunnel, through the fork on the left-hand side. Fontaine, Pierrot, go see if you can find anyone dawdling there, where they shouldn't be. Yes, madame. Yes, ma'am. Dots. More dots. All the dots. Even more dots. In a moment, one of two things will happen. Either Pierrot and Fontaine will return empty-handed, in which case I'll have no choice but to execute Cocorico. And then I would have to execute you, Falcon, and you, Sparrowson. Of course. Us. Not because of what you've seen tonight, although that's admittedly a problem, but because your lies would be treasonous to our new republic. I didn't sign up for this. Or Pierrot and Fontaine will return with a prisoner in tow, in which case we will be free to cut Cocorico down and skedaddle? Surely not, madam. You're not going to let these three just walk free after everything that's happened here. Remember what this rooster did to your father? Hold your tongue, Friar. If it turns out you've been deceiving me all this time. And... Ma'am Beaumont, look who we found! Ow! Ow! Stop shoving me! I can walk myself! Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Well, we really do have a ghost in the catacombs. Introduce yourself, Wolf. Very well, mademoiselle. My name... Madame. Madame. Right, Madame. Whatever. My name is Silvius. Don't you mean Romulus? That alias isn't fooling anyone, Your Honor. All right, I'm Romulus, twin brother of Remus, and loyal servant to the rebel cause. That's the whole truth. He's telling the truth, Madame. Long live the Second Republic. Right, guys? I have a lot of questions, both for you, Romulus, and for you, Remus. I don't appreciate being lied to. It seems that you have your hands full, so we will just be taking our leave. Not so fast, Falcon. Your theory is still unproven. If it turns out that Romulus has no bullet in him, then you would have no evidence that implicates him of the Croque Monsieur's murder. Cocorico would still be in the prime suspect. Bullet? In me? What are you guys on about? Spare me, Fontaine. Spare me. Fontaine, hold him down. Hold me down? Ow! Ow, ow, ow! Spurson, do your test. I'm on it. Buzz. It's buzzing. It's really buzzing around his shoulder. I see blood. There's definitely a bullet wound in there. That's an old bullet. An old war wound. I got it fighting in Algeria in 36. Obviously a desperate lie. My brother is being completely honest, madam. He's a veteran. He was shot in battle. You know, I could just extract the bullet right here and now. That would remove all doubt. That's going to hurt. Do it. Extract that sucker. Extract that sucker, Sparrow son. Oh god, that sounds painful. Ah! Wow, it sucked it out like a pipe from a grapefruit. Oh, hey look at that. If I'm not mistaken, this is one of them newfangled bullets, right, Fontaine? There's no mistake. This is an on-tipped Manet bowl, just like the one in Croque Monsieur's gun. Do you realize what this means, madame? It clearly demonstrates that Romulus confronted the Croque Monsieur before Cocorico arrived. This is undeniable evidence that Cocorico had nothing to do with the crocodile's death. You're right. I made a mistake. I haven't forgotten what the rooster did to my father, but this bird clearly had no part in killing the Croque Monsieur. Therefore, I cannot honestly call him an enemy of the Second Republic. Your friend is free to go. Fontaine, cut the rooster down. Right away, madame. Thank you, madame. For what? For giving us an opportunity to show you what justice looked like. Before you asked what the difference is between revenge and justice, and I replied fairness. Well, I don't know if this trial was perfectly balanced, but you let us represent our side of the argument uninterrupted. It was fair. Pierrot and Fontaine will help you carry your friend to the tunnel entrance. We're on it, madame. Would you be okay by yourself with these two wolves? These toothless old dogs. I think I'll manage. Of course. Except that sounds like a problem. Because I get the feeling one or two of them will have a gun. Come on, brother. To your feet. So, cultists. Cultist is such a strong word, madam. Listen, such a strong word. Listen, mademoiselle. Don't mademoiselle me. I shall be asking the questions here. Tell me, friar, are you a cultist too? Madame, I'm just a humble servant of God. Ugh, I never realized how poisonous your words were. You've been spewing lies ever since the very start, haven't you? Madame, at least tell me why you two killed the Croque Monsieur. Because, allow me, brother. You want to know the truth? We want exactly the same thing as you. You want a world without class, a world without false rulers and gods, a world where only the reason of man reigns. A world of true equality and fairness. That is what you strive for, no? But you cannot achieve such a goal without violence. Your methods are too passive, too naive. So we set up a situation where you would be forced into action. Make the government look like murderers to the rebels, and make the rebels look like murderers to the government. Then you would be forced to take up arms. Another lie. But that was the truth. You claim that you want equality, but you just want a world where you stand above everyone else, a world where carnivores reign. You're a rabbit animal at heart. Heh, you got me. But can you honestly say that you've never wanted power for yourself? You're a carnivore too. Don't deny it. No, I've never wanted power. All I've ever wanted was a world where no child has to grow up without a father. Did you know that the Croque Monsieur was something of a family man? He once confided in me that he had 5 children and a late wife. I had no idea. Tell me, Romulus, do you have children? Obviously no. Me? Pff, no, mademoiselle, Brother? As for you, friar, get out of here. You aren't going to kill me? I ought to. You are the worst kind of person, a man who'll cling to an ideology to claw his way higher. But I know that you weren't the one who pulled the trigger at the crook, monsieur. Maybe there's a slither of goodness left in you. Go. Go. I hope that's not a mistake. Is this what justice looks like? It's so uncaring. Well, your version of it, anyway. And yes, the game has been saved. Now to continue. Oh man, oh man. You kicked so much derriere in that impromptu trial yesterday. Those rebels were like, we're executing this punk, mob, justice, rah rah rah. But you were all like, this isn't how we do things in France, chicken pluckers. And then they were all like, Sparrow-son, let's get serious for a moment. Serious? You just pulled off the craziest lawyering move in the history of French law. We should be celebrating. We don't have time to pull out champagne. Don't you see the anger in the rebels' eyes? Didn't you feel the tension in the air? We're just days away from violence breaking out on the streets. Oh yeah, I guess another revolution might be around the corner. But what exactly can we do? We already told the police everything we know. Unless you're not thinking of arming yourself to the teeth and fighting the rebel forces yourself, are you? What? No! You watch far too many action operas. I was thinking of preparing a legal case. A case? For whom? At their core, all historical revolutions center on trials. A nation's rulers are tried and held accountable for their crimes. But you saw the horrendous trial that took place last night. Nobody cares about due process when emotions are running high. Regardless of the outcome of the revolution, we need to make sure that everybody has an equal opportunity for justice. That makes sense. So what's the plan? We head to the Quenelles Tavern and hand out some business cards? Think bigger. Who will the rebels target? The king? Exactly. To the Palace Royale! Act 4. Egolite. I think. Falcon and Sparrowson rush to the Palace Royale to arrange a private audience with the king. After filling in a pile of forms, the two are led to a waiting area. Are you here to see the king? Quack. That's right. Okay, take a number and wait to be called. Quack. Take a number? Yep, just wait your turn. Quack. More fools who have come to see the king? Let me guess, lawyers? That's right. How did you... Hey, I know you. You're the Prime Minister, Monsieur Guizot. Guizot? Whatever. Oh, well, you're right, Sparrow-son. It's an honor to meet you, Prime Minister. Spare the formalities. You two are here to offer the king legal aid, aren't you? Yep, we're going to offer him assistance for the upcoming rebellion. Let me give you a word of advice. Don't bother. Excuse me? The king doesn't take kindly to any form of criticism. He buries his head so far in the sand that one could swear he is an ostrich. One would think that 7 assassination attempts would be enough for a man to learn that he is detested. With all due respect, Prime Minister, I think the King of France is mature enough not to let his ego get in the way of senses. So one would think. Yeah, I kinda don't think he's the type. 24? 24? That's us. It will be a pleasure meeting you. It was a pleasure meeting you, monsieur. Good luck. You'll need it. So I just noticed that he's oh, what's the word for it? A vulture. That's why. 24. Calling number 24. Quack. Good day, Your Majesty. Good day, les messieurs. That's. Can I help you with something? Oh, I probably should have prepared a speech beforehand. That would have been smart, huh? Just wing it. Right, let's see. How to start. A great and pious ruler. Probably. It'd probably be best to play up to his ego, I assume? O great and pious ruler, honorable the King, Penguin King, prosecutor, or protector of the realm, I humbly request your attention. Well, it's about time someone addressed me with respect. You have my attention. Oh, wait, I just gave him the wrong voice. There is a storm, alright. Merida's about to go down. I think I'll go with this one first. The evil thing makes it sound like the rebellion's bad. There's a storm coming. Rebels are plotting your downfall, and many believe that a serious uprising is imminent. Imminent, you'll say. Goodness. We are sure that such a pitiful revolt will blow over in no time at all. Nonetheless, we'd like to humbly offer our aid as lawyers. We may be of great use to the throne in this troublesome time. I think I understand. You do? I understand you are a pair of con artists attempting to screw a self-made burgos out of his hard-earned cash. You have some nerve to even imply that me people hate me. I am the citizen king. I am beloved by all. Beloved kings tend to experience fewer assassination attempts. Blech. Have these two crooks thrown in jail. Maybe that will teach them a thing or two about respect. Right away, your majesty. You can't be serious. Oh, he was serious. Well, this is another fine mess you've gotten us into. There's no need for the attitude, Sparrow Son. We won't be in here for long. Once we receive a court hearing, the judges will no doubt dismiss our charges instantly. And how long will it take for us to get to a court hearing? Tell me that, Monsieur Smarty Pants. A week or so, I'm guessing. I can see why that may be a problem. The revolution could be in full swing by then. What to do? What to do? We could try escaping. Don't be ridiculous. Nobody has ever escaped from conciergerie before. But no one has ever Nobody has ever locked the genius Sparrow Son and his witty lackey Falcon into the same jail cell before. It's an absurd suggestion. Got any better ideas? Okay, let's break out of prison. Fantastic. So there's always those things. Also, what's that? There's a little dent here. One of us could hide. Hide? What would that accomplish? Well, a guard would eventually come in and be like, "Where's the other prisoner?" And then we would use the momentary confusion to push him over and escape. Do you really think that an experienced guard would be confused by a prisoner hiding in a little hole in the wall? We can do better. There's a bit of scrap metal in this hole. I think it broke off in an iron shackle. We could dig through the stone walls with this. See? It's all scratchy. That may actually work, if we had a decade or two. So that's a maybe on the stone digging scheme. Well, I'll keep it in mind in case the king decides to go all Count of Monte Cristo on us. A fireplace. It's been bricked up, so escaping up the chimney is an option. A ledge. Give me a leg up, and I can grab on and shimmy my way over somewhere. Let's be honest, Sparrow Son. Neither of us have the physical prowess to shimmy anywhere. What's this? Look, Falcon, a loose brick. We could wait for a guard to transfer to us to some place, sneak up behind him, and then we get a death sentence for murder. I think not. Let's search a little harder. Really? That's it? Weird. I would have thought that something would have popped up. But I guess not. I give up. So soon? Yes. Trying to escape from a notoriously inescapable prison wasn't the smartest plan we have ever devised. Well, well, well. That voice. That condescending tone. Just what are you two bird brains doing? Severin, are you alright? Yes, I'm fine. The injuries I sustained were mostly superficial. The doctor advised me not to do anything strenuous at any time soon, but he gave the all-clear for returning to do my job. So tell me, why did I get a memo informing me that J.J. Falcon and Sparrow Son were being held in the conciergerie for treason? It's Falcon's fault! It's Falcon's fault! Naturally. I figured that if a revolution is inevitable, then we should do our best to ensure that the uprising proceeds in an organized manner. The less bloodshed, the better. Okay, so what did you do? We offered the king our assistance. We said that we would defend him in court if and when such a need arises. Well, we didn't quite use those words. Tisk. This isn't the first time the king has had someone imprisoned for something so pointless. What a pig-headed fool. Consider your charges dropped. Alright, let's get out of here. Hold on, you've caught my interest with this idea of yours. A bloodless revolution. You are absolutely right in that if the king is captured, citizens will devolve into an unruly mob of animals. We should prepare for a formal trial. No, we should preempt it. So you're going to help us? Of course. This isn't a task that can be handled by 2 birds alone. What do you mean by preemptive, Severin? We go on the offensive. We charge the king with crimes against the French people before the rebels can even act. We can do that? We can certainly try. I'll start building a case against the king. My argument will be focused on the king's gluttonous and irreverent fiscal policies, his lack of commitment to his socio-political promises, his overall ineptitude and irresponsibility on all facets of his duties as a monarchical. I don't know why I can't say the word. Monarchical. Whatever. You know, a monarchical rule. And obviously, his denial of universal suffrage. Obviously. How am I supposed to defend the king from all that? You can't. If you try to argue with logic and facts, this hypothetical trial will inevitably result in a landslide guilty verdict. So I suggest that you take a different approach. Appeal to the king's character. Try to win people's hearts with tales of the beloved citizen king. He hasn't been called the Citizen King for like 10 years. It was a suggestion. But consider this. You don't need to win the case. You just need to make a strong enough argument that the trial is fair. All that remains is to ensure that the king can be peacefully brought to the courthouse when the protests start to turn violent. That's a job for the police and royal guard. I'll inform the Inspector Valerty of our plans so that he can prepare accordingly. At least, I would if I can find him. Inspector Valerty is missing. Apparently, he's taken an informal leave of absence since Wednesday. Hold on, Falcon. One thing eludes me. As you probably figured, Inspector Valerty has had me perform an investigation into your past. He thought that you were the Viridian killer, crazy as it sounds. And, well, I'm sorry for doing that. It was quite invasive of me, but I can't help but wonder. Why did you change your name around 1830? So we finally actually get information about that. So actually, considering that there's going to be a trial later, I'm probably going to have a couple more episodes of this. But even though I still do that, I still plan on trying to change the channel. I mean, improve the channel. My channel. Whatever. It just might take a little longer. Because I can only usually record 2 and maybe sometimes 3 episodes per day. Otherwise I have responsibilities to take care of. But tomorrow, since I have plenty of time, I should be able to make an episode and then start the changes, hopefully. But so maybe I don't even have to worry about not posting a video. I might be able to post enough videos and make the changes as soon as the series ends. If I could be so lucky. Anyway, so yeah. Because I was ashamed, I suppose. I had a family name to live up to. My grandfather was something of a successful lawyer. So when I turned up to my class at law school, people would gawp at me. They would say, "Wow, you have big shoes to fill," and "Your grandfather would be so proud." But I was a terrible law student, mediocre at best. I knew that, deep down, I would never be half the man my grandfather was. Fascinating. I had no idea. Who is your grandfather, if you don't mind me asking, Falcon? It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, he was just another overly opinionated rebel who died in the old revolution. I see. Well, let's not dilly-dally any longer. We have duties to carry out. Right, we're going to find anecdotes, and we're going to defend the king, whether he likes it or not. Okay, so this is actually going to be a bit difficult. Where are we going to, I'm not sure how many days I have either. Maybe we'll go to Remington? Or Renard, I mean. Visitors, Monsieur Volpes. Visitors! Ah, if it isn't Monsieur Falcon and Monsieur Sparrowson, how may I help you two today? We're doing very well, Monsieur, but we don't have much time, so let me cut to the chase. We're collecting positive anecdotes about the king. Would you happen to have any? Positive anecdotes? How curious. As it happens, I have met the king twice. Once, as you know, I was in my Juan Querido persona. Querido, I mean. Oh, right, of course. I don't think that the story will be of any use to us. What was the other incident? I could tell you, but there is a price. Are you serious? You're such a money grabber. A fox has to eat, monsieur. Fine, fine. How much do you want? 40 francs sound good. I'm sorry, what? I don't have that kind of money, monsieur. No matter. I'm sure you'll think of some way of repaying the debt. Between that and my medical bills, we should be ready to afford basic things like food by the year 4000. Let's not worry about the debt for now, monsieurs. Let me just tell you the story. It was several years ago, 1841, I believe. I was lingering around the Isle de les Siete. Siete? Kaite? Something like that. I was in the pursuit of an investigative lead, so I had adopted the persona and outfit of a sickly beggar. That's when I was approached by a kind-faced man. It was the king himself. He took a 20-franc coin out of his pocket. The king gave money to a sick beggar, or at least someone who looked like a sick beggar. That's great. We could use that. I'm not done, monsieur. The king took the coin out and said, I know what it is like to be poor. What it is like to be poor. When I was your age, I only had 1,000 of these to my name. Then he pocketed the coin and left. Oh. I'll make a note. Gave financial advice to the poor and needy. I hope that anecdote was of some use to you, monsieurs. It might be, but I don't feel we've got 10,000 francs worth of material. I see. No matter. Just keep me in mind if you ever see a potential client. We will. Have a pleasant day, monsieur. Huh. Maybe the breach? Monsieur Kingsley, we need your help. Finally, it's about time someone around here appreciated my skills. Your fishing skills, right? The term is angling, wise guy. This has nothing to do with fishing. Let me cut the preamble. We are looking for people who have positive stories about the king. Would you happen to have any? Stories, huh? You came to the right guy. I have a whale of a story for you. So the other day I was fishing, and I caught this monster of a catfish. It was 2 meters long, easily. Here we go. I caught a fish, and it was this big. Oh, sure. I drag a 90-kilogram falcon out of the water, and everyone buys it. But I claim to catch one big fish, and suddenly everyone's a skeptic. Please continue your story, Monsieur Kingsley. Oh, right. So anyway, the king of all people happens to be walking by with his entourage, and they all clapped and cheered and came over to see the fish. And then the king says, I'm hungry. Let's cook this fellow up. And then he walks off with my fish. Can you believe that? Unfortunately, yes. I can believe that. It seems like something a royal penguin would do. Did you at least get paid for your fish? Oh yes, one of the royal guards was nice enough to flip 1 franc my way. 1 franc? He may as well have just flipped the bird. No offense. So the king... Aha! So the king supports the local fishing industry. I'm writing this down. I have no idea if this story will be of any use to us, but we appreciate your time, monsieur. Good day to you. Bye, monsieur fisherman. Hey, don't call me a fisherman. We're running out of places to visit. Maybe the history books? Okay, here we go. Nathan has never let us down for useful information. I'm sure he's got something interesting and pleasant to say about the king. Oh, it's you, messieurs. Perhaps you will surprise me today and actually ask to take out the book. Nope, just the usual today, an endless stream of questions. You two need an encyclopedia. Well, go on then. Ask whatever drivel you want to ask. Have you ever met King Louis Philippe? I have. As a matter of fact, he occasionally drops by this library to check out books. Unlike some people. What sort of books does he check out, monsieur? Thick books. I believe the last one he checked out was An Expansive History of the Macedonian Empire. Okay. I had no idea that His Majesty was interested in academic history. I'll make a note. King Louis Philippe is a well-read and intelligent man. It must be said that the books are usually returned with footprints on the covers. Why? This leads me to believe that the king may just use them to stand on during speeches. Oh, I see. Oh, we'll just leave that part out. Was there anything else? From your well-educated standpoint, is King Louis Philippe a good leader, as far as leaders go? Well, I can't fault the king's pro-business spirit. The big industry leaders love him. Oh, this sounds promising. Of course, this comes at the expense of everyone who isn't a Bogos. The wealth divide is stronger than ever. Maybe not. You can forget about socially progressive policies. The king signs off on all of Guzot's backward-thinking policies. And of course, in terms of leadership and charisma, the king is about as personable as a rotten pear. That'll do, monsieur. A simple no would have sufficed. That'll be all. Thank you for your time and patience, monsieur. I look forward to your next round of idiotic questions. I really do. I guess it's giving him something else to do aside from look at the books. We're running out of places. The courthouse? Hopefully it'll let me go to every place, because otherwise I won't have anything. Excuse me, Judge Maxime. Oops, I just meant to... Oh, hello. Oh, hello, Falcon. Nice work on the catacombs business. Word has really spread about your impromptu lawyering skills. Really? I'm gaining a reputation. Hey, I helped too. Of course you did, Robington? Sparrowson. Right, Sparrington. Judge Maxime, I don't suppose Monsieur Cocorico has filled you in on what we've been working on since then? No, he hasn't. How to put this? We're planning a trial of sorts. We intend to forming a case against, the king. Right, and, we want you to adjudiciate. A trial against the king? Interesting. What are his exact charges? I'm not sure, to be perfectly honest. That seems more like Severin's territory. If you aren't even sure of that, then I don't think you're quite prepared for this trial. Maybe you should leave this to lawyers who have a little more experience. I see. Well, thank you anyway. Let's make a move, Sparrow-san. What about our judge? It doesn't matter. Let's focus on building a solid defense case for the king, and we can wing it from there. Maybe we can even hold the trial without any judge at all. Just Cocorico, me, and the king in the middle. It's strange, Falcon. It's strange. Falcon, you're like your grandfather, and yet you're nothing like him. Wait, you knew my grandfather? Well, I wouldn't say knew. I was just a teenager when he was causing havoc in the courtrooms. But of course, I am familiar with his work. Falcon, I find your career choice peculiar. Your grandfather worked so hard to persecute King Louis the 15th, and yet... 16th, and yet here you are, rigorously working to defend your own king. Just like him, you would make an excellent prosecutor. So why did you choose the rocky path of the private defender? Well, by the sounds of it, he did want to leave a shadow. But I think I'll go with this, because I like the idea of balance better. I'm not entirely sure, but I think it's about balance. My grandfather led the way with his prosecutional techniques, but I always wondered where the equality was. Who speaks for the other side? That's an interesting approach. Oh, just look at the time. I'm due back in the courtroom. But before I go, let me just say that I would be happy to adjudiciate your trial, Falcon. Really? That's fantastic. Thank you, Your Honor. It's no trouble. Show me what the grandson of Maximilian Robespierre is capable of. Wow, we actually got a name. Who knew? And I guess Les Halles? I mean, it looks like it's giving me every day to do each, which would be nice. Time for some shopping, Falcon. Maybe later. For now we need to find some people who have spoken to the king. He's been known to pass through Les Halles on occasion, so if we're lucky... Ah, the familiar pair. Hey, messieurs, it's us, remember? Dang it, I keep giving her a different voice. We remember. Are you keeping well, madame? Absolutely. Never been better. So what can I say you today? I think she would maybe have a bit of a Cockney accent. Maybe. Like, judging from the last time I talked to her. Information. We're looking for positive stories about the king. I don't suppose you know of any. The king? No, I haven't got nothing to say about the king. The king's smelly egg thief. Quiet, child. You know what they say about the king and having spies everywhere. Spies? Calm down, Sparrow son. The rumors of the king having an elaborate spy network are patently untrue. Then how do you explain the shutting down of banquets, huh? The government's clamping down on anyone who just dissents, you know? Let's get this conversation back on track. Joey, can you tell us why the king's a smelly egg thief? My name's not Joey. It's nothing you need to concern yourselves with, monsieurs. Please go on, madam. Don't worry, we aren't spies. At least, I don't think we are. I know, I trust you guys. See, a couple of years ago, we were running a shop, an antiques and odds and ends shop. And we had an egg. It was this golden egg, super precious. We must have bought that thing for 200 francs, but it was easily worth 10 times that. We were pinning on making a nice tidy sum from it. I see, an investment egg. So what happened? Well, one day we were visited by the king, no less, and old King Phil shows an interest in our egg. So we were thinking, this will be our chance to make a bank, right? But then the geezer just goes and waddles off with it. Without paying you? Oh yeah, he paid us all right. What's this? The coin. One of the king's guards flipped our way. It isn't even French. I think this is British. One of those crazy imperial coins, imperial unit coins from the crazy imperial country. I have no idea what the British-French exchange rate is, but can we buy this off you, madame? Put your wallet away and keep it. It's worthless to me. Sartain's coin has been added to your evidence folder. Losing that egg bankrupt us. It's put us on the streets. But now we've bounced back. Sartain and Gambad, better than ever. That's excellent to hear. Anyway, we must take our leave. You've been a huge help, madame. We're going to kick that king's butt and get your egg back. Hold on, weren't we supposed to be the defense? You can be both. And then finally... So it actually did give us enough days, thankfully. Ah, just the dodo I wanted to see. Madame Quinelli, quick question. Have you ever served the King of France? That's... Good one, hon. That's hilarious. Me serving the king. Me. Would you like some wine, your majesty? I can't wait to serve the King of Denmark. I think that was a no. And I think you might be right. Obviously, the drinking room. Inspector Valerdi? What's he doing here? Oh, I guess he's drinking. Hello, Inspector. Falcon J. Falcon. Yes. I think I've made a mistake. I'll say, do you see 2 empty bottles of Russian vodka? It's a mystery how you're still standing. No, listen, this is important. Inspector, maybe we should have this conversation when you're a little more sober. No, Falcon. Listen, Falcon, I thought you were the Warden Creature. The what? The Viridian Killer. The man who injured me in the July Revolution. You thought I was the Viridian Killer? How did you ever come to that conclusion? Oops. I keep trying to get the mouse back. I saw that you changed your name around 1830 and I... You made an assumption. Wait, is that why you gave Severin a tip-off? Were you trying to lure the animal out of me or something? I'm sorry, Falcon. It was a mistake. Do you forgive me? Yeah, I mean, why not? I mean, no harm really came of it. Yeah, sure. I forgive you for assuming that I'm a mass murderer, and then for nearly killing me and Severin in order to prove it. Wait, how did he nearly kill both of us? Oh, then no. Thank you, Falcon. Now listen closely, Inspector. I have a favor to ask you. A favor? For you, JJ. And anything. Maybe we should wait until the Inspector is a little more coherent. No, I want to help. I must pay my debt. Excellent. So Severin and I were planning a case, a very big case, against the King of France. We intend on trying him before the rebels can get their hands on him. When the rebellion starts, we would like you to bring the king to the courthouse. Do you think you could do that? Inspector? Treason! You are sympathizers to the rebel cause. This isn't treason, Inspector. We're ensuring the safest outcome to an inevitable revolution. You are treasonous. You are treason. You are scum. I told you. Incoherent. Yeah, I guess you were right, Sparrowson. Well, Inspector, maybe you should contact us if you change your mind, and once you've sobered up. Card room? Yeah, maybe. Ah, the big fellow has returned. You to play some cards? Nope, never mind. I guess he was not important enough. That was just if I wanted to make more money, I guess. Yep, that was the last of it. And considering how much time I spent on all this evidence, I think I'll actually call this an episode, and then we can make some more in the next episode. Hope going through the trial and hopefully making it as bloodless as possible. And so yeah, this is actually a pretty long episode. I wasn't even paying attention to the time. But yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I hope that by the time all these episodes come out, I'll have improved my channel considerably. But yeah, so I hope you enjoyed the episode. Hope you leave a comment if there's anything you liked, or if there's any suggestions you have for the future. Subscribe if you have any, if you want to see any videos from the past, present, and soon-to-be future. And until next time, I hope you guys make it a great day, and I'll be seeing you later.